be more different. Mom is as stylish as ever, with her blonde hair pulled back in a low bun, wearing a blouse, wide-legged trousers, and heels that are too high for most people to pull off. Dad, on the other hand, has on ill-fitting jeans and a t-shirt with Deadpool riding a unicorn. I have no idea what brought them together to begin with, but it certainly wasn't a similarity in looks. Or interests, either. "And how's my pumpkin?" Dad asks, his big smile reserved for me. Hesitantly, I walk over and give him a hug. "Hey, Dad." "Ready for your first day as the newest employee at Sword and Board Games?" He grins broadly at the idea, as if I'm joining him for summer camp instead of spending the next 8 weeks working here as probation, grounded from extracurriculars and friends. I can only grimace and stare at the cracked concrete sidewalk. "Sure you're up for this?" Mom asks Dad, and juts her chin at me like I'm a convicted criminal ready to dig my way out of prison with a rusty spoon. "I've been trying to get Riley to come here for years. I was hoping it wouldn't take a rap sheet to make it happen, but I'll take what I can get." I groan. Okay, for the last time, I didn't steal Mom's car. I just borrowed it for one evening. It was more like joyriding, not Grand Theft Auto or something. "Are you certain about that?" Dad asks with a raised eyebrow. I am, actually. Hoshiko Googled it once we were on the highway and headed for the show. "Well, you won't be doing any joyriding for the next 2 months, young lady," Mom says with a shake of her head. "Or having much joy at all." "I'm choosing to think of this as a twisted type of blessing," Dad says, careful to look at me rather than at Mom. They almost never make eye contact. "I get to spend quality time with my daughter, and you can broaden your interests while you're here." I sigh and hunch my shoulders. Half of me wants to kneel on this sidewalk next to the discarded napkins and cigarette butts and beg them to rethink this. But I bite my tongue. The other, rational half, knows my punishment could have been worse. But the thing is, I don't want to spend more time with Dad, and I don't want to work at his game store. For the past 5 years, I've spent every other weekend at his apartment, watching TV, eating frozen pizza, and barely talking. And that's all the bonding time I'm up for. He made his priorities known when he chose this store over Mom and me. He shouldn't be allowed to have his cake and eat it too. But it's clear that the time for debating this is over. "Well," Mom rocks back on her heels. "Have a good first shift. I'll be back at 9 to pick you up." I wave goodbye and try to keep a neutral expression as I follow Dad to the entrance. In the grand scheme of things, 8 weeks is nothing. A blip in time. And luckily, preparations for our high school's annual spring musical won't start until late fall. So, if I'm on my best behavior and win back their trust these next few months, I should be ready to earn my place as the show's student director before Starbucks stops selling PSLs. "Here we are," Dad says loudly, making me jump. I peek over his shoulder. The store is dim and quiet, though it's bigger than I thought it would be. It kind of looks like a hole in the wall from the outside, but the interior is actually spacious. Or it would be if it wasn't absolutely crammed with stuff. There's a long checkout counter to the left that's up on a platform, maybe so the employees can see the entire floor. The rest of the space is filled with wooden shelving units. They don't look professional, so maybe Dad built them himself. I vaguely recognize some of the games, like Warhammer from Dad's apartment. There are tons of D&D manuals and figurines, boxes of Pokemon and Magic cards, and displays of brushes and paints in every color for the tabletop game models Dad loves to collect. I try to conjure a smile on my face, but I'm struggling. For years, Dad's been asking me to come to this store. He's obsessed with gaming. Board games, role-playing games, video games, it doesn't matter. I don't mind a round of Monopoly.